Oh, we live.
Are we live?
We are
We
live.
are live.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
oh,
hey.
hey.
It's your girl, Lady
And
Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J.
Okay, and welcome to Shift Real Talk TV.
Yes, we are
Okay, so
back in the
listen,
building, y'all.
over the last few years, we have seen tragedy after the tragedy. The world has actually viewed relationship tragedies from Megan Good and her husband, Devon Franklin, from Tia, Maury, and Corey Hardrick, even to Kim and Kanye. I mean, it rocked the relationship world by storm. And a lot of fear set into people's hearts and in their relationships, and people kind of got to a point where they lost hope in love. Well, I'm here to let you know that there is still hope because our guest today is going to take us through her journey from being in love and pursued by her man, transitioning over into infidelities and how she navigated through mistrust and how she navigated through separation and even almost divorce. But then she's going to help us to understand what God did to help heal her heart so that he could do the same for us. This is a show you do not want to miss. So you have to watch it all the way to the end. Get your blessing.
And your popcorn ready.
Get it ready, honey, without further ado.
Wait a minute. That was great. That was nice.
Well,
You better go ahead, lady.
I tried. So
Lady
without
Free.
further ado, come on, y'all. Welcome with me, the queen, Artel Butler. Hey, y'all.
What's up? I call her Telly.
Hello.
What's
and
up, Telly?
welcome to Shift Real Talk
Going on,
Tuesday.
y'all? How y'all doing?
We got the queen
She is
in
here.
the building.
She's here.
And alongside her, the queen is the bishop,
That's
Yes.
right. So we
Yeah.
have heard your story, sir.
which was a great story.
Part 1 and part 2. If you have not checked it out, please check out part 1 and part 2 of You Can Love Again. But today,
Yes, his story and his transparency prompted
oh my God.
everybody asking for the queen to come on because they had some questions.
Yes,
So
the queen.
so listen, man, we the hour goes by fast.
It does.
So we're not going to delay.
We're gonna jump. We're gonna jump right in. Okay.
We gonna jump. We diving. We gonna go straight in.
All right, already.
We're gonna go straight in, man. So,
So-
first of all, how you doing today? Greet the people.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm good.
Hey, Ashley. Ashley is tuning in from Dollar Tree. She said, honey, I couldn't miss this.
This and look,
Yes, Dollar Tree.
Artel,
Yes, Dollar Tree.
This is my friend who kept telling me part 3. She said, I can't wait. This
Star
is her. She
Shell
has
said,
been
I'm here for the love.
anticipating.
I love the Bullers.
Okay.
So what up, girl?
So of course, like I said, we've heard the story of L. Butler and his journey from love, lost to love again. All right. Now, what can you tell us? Like, we want your perspective on how everything went. Like, from
Barry Austin.
Did you notice the signs of things going kind of left? And did you say anything? You know, we want to know these things. How did you deal with everything that you went through to get to the place you are right now? So the floor is yours.
First off, I just want to say thank y'all for this opportunity. I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been visual anywhere. Just been chilling. Honestly, first I just want to let y'all know I'm Artel, but I'm Telly all day. I'm never gonna change. The way that I talk, I'm very transparent. So I hope y'all can handle half of the stuff I say because it's really real, my real life story. First off, I commend my husband
Hey, Lord.
for taking responsibility for the things that we went through on his part, not even speaking on me, on my behalf, but just on his behalf, because I have my own situations. So whatever he went through had nothing to do with me because I was dealing with a whole lot of other issues that had nothing to do with him.
Wow.
So for me, in the transition, I was, again, just like I said, dealing with my own stuff. So yes, I saw the signs. Yes, I already knew. We had already been through this cycle before. Speaking about it, I was at a point where I just stopped talking about it because I was already far removed. So it was kind of like we were just existing. At the point where you're just existing, it don't matter no more. Everybody doing their own thing. Everybody go to work, they come home. You do as you're supposed to do for the image, but you were never there. So we were already gone apart from each other. So at the point where we fully detached and he moved out and everything, it was okay. You know, it was hurting because on that level hurting because I've always been married. I've always had my husband, no matter what we've been through, we always lived together. We never was apart. But at the point when he actually moved out, I'm like, oh, wait, he's gone.
This is real.
You know, so like, yeah, this is real. Like, we really going through this. Like, we have not spoke. I stayed at my mom's, he stayed out, you know, but us not living together. So it was hurtful because I felt abandoned at that point.
Wow.
The point that you can leave. No matter what we went through, we had never left. So it was that bad where he had left. But again, excuse me, I was so caught up in my issues, his issues didn't matter to me.
Wow.
So although he had his own issues, I had my own issues.
Yeah.
Not perfect, never will I act like I was or whatever. I had situations I needed to deal with.
Yeah.
So while you out there, you moved out. So for me, that was my green light. So my green light now, separation. All right, I'm outside now. That's me.
Yeah.
My mindset was I'm outside now. I'm free. So you're talking about the young lady who went from being in her mother's house to being married and just being in a relationship for 20 years. I'm relational. So I don't know what it's like to be single. I don't know what it's like to be on my own.
Right.
So for me, that was freedom. That was, oh, I'm outside. I'm going out. I was on a plane every day. I was going, doing whatever I wanted to do. I got to decorate my house the way I want to. No accountability, come and go. So that's what I thought, quote unquote, that was good stuff for me. That I thought it was great. But again, I still had my issues I needed to deal with. I had situations I needed to deal with. So while he's outside, me being outside, it didn't matter. I wasn't angry at him. I never was bitter, never had any issue with him per se, because we both was dealing with our own situations.
Yeah.
Although the world may not understand, but it was good for us to be apart.
Wow.
Because there were some things that we needed to get out of our systems and just go through and just figure out on our own. Right. That's really the gist of it. I can't speak and say anything that he's done. That's not my concern, to be honest. I had removed myself because I needed to figure me out. You know, wow. I had my situations. I need to figure me out. What am I going to do? Do I still want this? And then when I got to the place to think, we both not here. We both don't want to be here. All right, we might as well just get a divorce. It doesn't make any sense. So that's what I thought was the solution. But I never filed the papers. So although I was like, all right, let's
hey, Felicia Sloan,
I never signed the papers.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So that's crazy. So you saying, you outside, you dating over there, he in a relationship, whatever, but y'all still married. Because guess what? At the end of the day, he was still my husband.
He was.
Wow.
So when I saw him, you could say what you want. You could be with whoever you want. That's still my husband. So what happened? I'm always going to be here.
So let me ask you this, Telly. Let me ask you this. Now, not only are you Telly, but you were the first lady.
Yeah.
You were the first lady. So how was that transition of being absent, but still having to carry the hat of a first lady? Because you're not a typical first lady. You're Telly,
Yeah.
So how was that to carry that, to still have to carry, hey, Dad, my dad is on. How was that?
Hey, Dad.
How was that transition of carrying the hat of a first lady being checked out?
In the midst of all of that.
In the midst of being checked out.
To be honest, what helped me was
hey,
COVID.
Bettina.
Not for nothing.
Say it again.
She didn't start yet. She don't hear nothing. She doesn't hear anything.
Does everybody on here
okay.
Does everybody hear? Growing Pains is marriages. Yes, sir. Felicia Sloan. Hey, God
y'all
bless
let
you.
us know give us
can
a
y'all
thumbs
hear?
up
Let us know if you can hear. Go ahead, Telly. We'll just keep.
She don't even. Oh, okay. So what I was going to say is COVID actually helped me. Not for nothing. COVID helped me disappear.
Oh.
It was easy for me to disappear in COVID. because it was the
Yeah.
top of COVID. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Wow.
We was going through. So
Yeah.
when he transitioned and decided to leave, I was like, oh, okay, this works. I don't got to come outside.
Because they weren't
I don't got to go to
requiring us to
church.
go to
Oh,
church
I wasn't
anyway.
right. I wasn't
Wow.
required to be outside. I wasn't required to be at church. I was like, okay, that's what we doing. I don't gotta go nowhere. So not for nothing, that actually helped me. So I just stayed invisible. I stayed
Wow.
minding my business,
So
which
it was
I do
easy.
anyway. It was easy for me. It was a smooth transition. And that's the only thing I asked of him, because I don't want people to think that this was a blow up. We never fought, we never yelled, we never screamed. We sat down, not only with ourselves, but with our children. We had a discussion with our children, told them what was going on, what we thought this was ending up. So it wasn't like nobody was aware. Long as my children was aware of what was going on, everybody else wasn't my concern. I didn't care about. So once we sat down with the kids and they said, all right, whatever y'all want to do, y'all my parents, it's whatever makes y'all happy. So at that point, we're both like,
Thank you.
all right, we going. So during COVID, it was so easy for me to just be going. I went to work, came home, I traveled. I think I was the most travelingest person in COVID ever. I was never home.
I was following you.
You got your frequent flyer miles up, huh?
Her glow was like high. It was like 100 watts.
I watched you on Instagram. I said, where you going now?
So,
You was out.
I was outside. I was outside, and I love it. And I ain't even going to tell y'all that I didn't. I loved every bit of it.
So how, okay. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt that moment.
I'm just saying it was just something, like I said, I think it was something that was needed for us. That doesn't mean it's for everybody.
Gotcha.
For our journey, it was for us. That's it. That's all. And we're still working on what's for us. That's it. That's all. Nobody else don't matter. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you look at me. You ain't gonna say nothing to me. So it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So it's just our journey. That's it.
So okay, how old were you all when you met? Take us back.
I was there from the beginning to tell you, let you know. I was there. I actually you know what's so? I introduced y'all.
So
So I play a part in this here.
You do.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I want to punch you too.
So take us back. How old were you and how did it start?
I was 24. She was 19.
Okay.
When I first met her, I was Jesse had me preaching at the church, and when I seen her, she had on this red Tommy Hilfiger shirt with these black jeans and a pair of construction Timbs.
And I still wear Timbs.
You
right?
remember the outfit? Okay.
I remember that outfit. She had on. It was a red Tommy Hilfiger shirt. It was short sleeve with the black trim. It was a pair of black jeans and some Timberland boots. And she had her hair in a bang.
Oh God.
She was a bang. She loved the bang back then.
I love my bang. I miss having worn it in 20
and I was like,
years.
yo, like I remember praying for her, and when she walked away, I heard in myself, "That's your wife."
Wow. Okay.
And I didn't say nothing to her. I said something to Jesse, but
What's up, David Battles?
He didn't go through with it. And then I think David Wood, God rest his soul, he preached at the church the next day, and then all of the couples went bowling. We went bowling that night, and I just was like, yo, I want her. That's who I want. I want her. And Jesse hooked it up, and we went to BBQs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, no, we drove that night. Y'all was in the car with us too.
We drove that night.
Y'all was in the car.
Yes, we drove. We was in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this guy come out with a suit and some slacks, I am not going.
Yeah.
Because he's a church guy. So I'm like, it's not going to work for me.
Yes.
Yeah, he was preaching. I was like, oh, come on. And I was like, But it worked out. He was cool. He had some swag. You know what I'm saying? He had Tim's on. He had his Mecca sweater.
He was a church dog. He was a church dog.
Yellow and blue sweater. Yeah. So it was then. And then, I mean, it happened so quick. we were together after that. I kind of think we was together like every day, all the time. And after that, we
Y'all was
got
getting married at the
like,
church.
at the
Wow.
church in choir
Yeah,
robes on
I
a Friday
remember.
night service.
Shout out to
Okay.
Lady Taylor. That's Bishop Mitchell Taylor's wife.
Hey, God bless you.
Hello,
God bless you.
hello.
Thank you for
Welcome
joining.
to Shift
Okay,
Real Talk.
listen. I want to get to the nitty. I mean, the beginning is a good, great love story.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But I want to go. Let's skip the beginning and let's go to now. Bishop was on here and he said it was one word that you said that made him just arrested him, and it was the word divorce. He said you wanted to file for a divorce, and when that hit him, those words hit him. It was like, oh my God, It was like at that point,
He said it sucked the life out of him.
It took everything from him, and from that point, it was now y'all went from this great love story to now coming to divorce, right? So my question to you is, coming from that point, right, being ready for a divorce, what was it? Because I know that there's a true saying, and I believe this: hell has no fury than a woman scorned. So at this point of being hurt, or at this point of like, I'm ready to give up, like this is it. What was it that now got you to even talking back to him?
Wait, okay, hold on. It's okay. I must babe. That's an awesome question. But you don't we went all the way to the end of the podcast.
No, because there's a lot. No, I'm going somewhere with this because there's a lot of questions coming out of this. Because this is you can love again.
Right.
So we got your story now.
All right, we have a question as well.
Okay.
Do y'all see the question from Ashley on the other
I saw
side?
it. I'm gonna jump all the way down to the bottom of it because the end of her question was, when did you say enough is enough?
Okay.
Right. And then she followed it up with, when did you say, okay, this is not working? So like that, and that's an RTL question. When did you say enough is enough? Like when was it that you was like, yo, I'm not dealing with this BS no more? That's it. Like, what drove you to that point?
Yeah.
And she wants to know what drove you to that point.
I am a firm advocate of embarrassment. I don't do embarrassment. I don't do shame, and I don't do not being covered. I don't like to feel like I'm out here by myself. So at the point where I felt like you wasn't even covering me, you didn't care to cover what you was doing. You just outside and you being messy and everybody outside. When people, ask questions, well, nobody never came to me per se, but if my children have to deal with somebody saying something to them or confronting them and they have to cover for their parents, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because I don't play with my kids. Don't say nothing to them. So the fact that nobody really came to me, but I felt uncovered and unprotected at that point, you just didn't care. And that to me was the biggest draw of it all, because what we go through in our home, or what we go through is what we go through. We'll figure it out. We'll maneuver through. Let's sit down. Let's talk. We got to counsel. What we have to do is what we will do. Yeah. But when you're outside and it's just out there and you don't care, we're not going to play that. You're not going to play in my face. You're not going to play in my face because I don't do that to you. I am very respectful. Although, and I want to keep it 100 with y'all, although I had my own issues again, and I was doing whatever I wanted, it was never in your face. Nobody could ever say this, that, and that. I always covered, regardless of all the things that I've known. Because people are like, oh, Shanette, I know everything. Trust me when I tell you.
Everything
that people think I didn't know, or I knew and I just never said that, even to him, and I bring it up now and later. It's like, wow, I knew everything. I just couldn't react because I had my own situations. So to me, is I can't press you. You know what I'm saying? And I know really deep down, I got my own stuff. If I press you, I'll be playing myself. And that's just transparency, because I don't have that right. We both wrong. And we both have to take accountability and responsibility of what we're doing.
Wow.
Okay. So at that point, when it was embarrassment for me, I was like, all right, enough is enough. We need to figure this out. So like I said, when he decided that moving out was the thing for him, because I think I was away. I was aware. He was like, I called him. Oh, I found the place. I was like, okay, no problem. And I got back home and he moved out, and I was like, oh, okay. Because I was fed up at that point. It was already out there. Everybody knew. Like, I'm like, come on, I'm not explaining myself to nobody. I never did, and I never will. I'm talking because I want to, not because nobody pressed me or said something to me and I have to explain myself. Never doing that to nobody, with nobody. So that was my indoor say all for, all right, this is divorce. We might as well just go ahead. I just want a smooth transition. I told him, make a smooth transition. Don't embarrass me. We ain't arguing. We ain't fighting over nothing. Whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. We good. That's it. That's all. That's just me. And that's not everybody. It's not for everybody. Everybody can't deal how I deal, and I don't expect anybody to. I would never say, oh, you should be this way. Absolutely not. That's just the way that I'm built and my makeup. I can take a lot, I can deal with a lot, but I also do a lot. So I can handle it.
Okay.
So
you see the question, Dave action?
Yeah, to answer David's question, at this very point, I think that we have been therapeutic to one another.
Yes.
We have opened our ears to each other, because don't nobody understand us like us.
Right.
And like I intend to eventually go and for us to see therapy, but not just us, for our entire family, because we've been through something traumatic.
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes people who are professionals in that field will be able to give you some tools. At this point, I don't think we need somebody to fix what we
had.
I think that we just need someone to give us some tools that the church never gave us.
Right. Oh,
Tools that the bishops and the pastors never gave us. Because marriage is not just a church thing. Marriage is it's a human thing. It's something that not only our church people marry, but people outside of the church are married.
Right.
And if we went through what we have gone through, maybe our ministry is not locked into the box of only the church. Maybe the restoration and the recovery of our marriage will help somebody on our jobs who don't go to church.
Right. Yeah.
So, I think that we do definitely have to go and speak to somebody just for for some tools and for some check-ins to to constantly maintenance. Exactly.
And just to piggyback off of what you said while I was sitting here, it's a thing of, you would need therapy or counseling, I believe, the way Dave is talking about it, if you guys weren't open to hearing each other. If you guys could not get past that moment of you did this and you did that. And that's why I love your story, because you come from another place. You don't come from a place of pointing fingers. You come from a place of, this is what I did. Let's talk about it. I'm not saying you hurt me when you did this, because a lot of times women, we hold on to that because we feel like if we let it go, that gives him a pass to do it again. What would you say to that?
Well, I try to tell Elle to be as truthful as possible. Communication is everything. I like transparency. I love transparency. I want you to be able to come to me and be like, yo, I'm having a moment. I don't know what's going on. Help me through this. Like, it could be anything. Like, I love, like, which is crazy. It may sound crazy, but I love talking about when we were apart. Like, yo, what was going on? He hates
me.
We
were the same way.
I'm the same way.
I don't hate it. No.
Uncomfortable.
I don't hate it. But if you saw Married Man Moment this morning, Married Man Moment talked about having the hard conversation.
Right.
And Lady B, she likes to yesterday she just caught me off guard with the whole, oh my God, there was like, I got a tattoo. Like, I was completely out there, y'all. I was out there. And I'm going to answer your question, Ashley. Yeah. I was out there. I did like the craziness. And my wife was just like, so about this tattoo that you got, like, I mean, and it just went from one place to another. Mind you, I done got the tattoo covered up. The tattoo is gone, and but it caught me off guard. And And for a moment, it had me in my feelings a little bit.
Right.
It had me in my feelings a little bit. Like, but I mean, when she got out the car, I kissed her. Like, I kissed her like, I don't know how many times. Like, I was holding her and kissing her like, yo, just so that I could kind of get it off of me.
Yeah.
Because I had to go teach last night.
I'm sorry.
And then, you know, after I was done teaching, I called her in the middle of class yesterday and she was asleep. So I was like, all right, she's asleep. I'm going home. I ain't going to bother her. I'm not going to wake her up. So I came straight home. I didn't call her. I didn't say nothing. And she called me and she was like, oh, so this what we doing now? You just going to go home and not say nothing?
Right.
You wake her up. Oh, yeah, you're supposed to wake her up.
You switch it up? Nah. So I was like, so I said, all right, you know what, I'm gonna come to the house. I'm on my way. And when I got there and I laid down, she was like, you know, she does this, you know, when she's trying to console me, she treat me like I'm 4 years old.
Right.
And be like, you was a little sensitive about the conversation today. And I was like, I said, it caught me off guard, but I know that the conversation is necessary for the healing of our relationship, right? It's necessary. Like, we got to have this conversation for the healing. It just caught me off guard.
Right.
And once I got out of my feelings, and you'll see in today's married man moments, don't get upset, breathe, and ask her, yo, what can I do to ease your mind in this situation? Because at the end of the day, you're only holding me accountable for something that I did. And you didn't actually get an opportunity to express yourself for real.
Come on.
While we was in it. Like, you probably, the stuff that you're saying right now is probably things you wanted to say throughout that 2 years.
Right. Give me a chance to say it.
And so now I got to give you that opportunity to say it.
Exactly.
I got to eat that. And I got to eat that. And if I don't have an answer, then if I don't have the answer, then I need to ask you for the answer. What can I do? What do you need me to do to help you, to help us get past this, to help us through this? Because I mean, they joke about my issue a lot.
Wow.
A lot.
Honey, that thing is funny.
And sometimes you really don't have to do nothing. It's just the fact that they're able to talk about it without that.
Yeah.
So it ain't even that you got to do anything. It's just talk about it.
And I love how you bringing out the fact that your wife, which is so like unheard of today, you allowed her to hold you accountable. You did not get upset and act as though you bringing this up again, you know, and now here's a whole nother issue. Now we can't talk about, that's when you need the counseling. But I love that. I love that.
Now, Alma, 2.5 years ago, I would have been on some, like, you really gonna talk about this again? Like,
right.
I thought, and in my mind, in my psyche, the way that I was then, it would have been translated as, you ain't forgive me. You ain't getting over it.
Right. Come on.
It would be translated like that. When the truth of the matter is, I can't accuse you of not forgiving me, and I can't assume that you're not getting over it. Sometimes getting over it requires you getting through it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right? And so if we got to get through it, and if talking about it is going to help us get through it, then let's get through it. And I don't care, like, now they talk about it, laugh about it, they be wilding. Like, I'm so serious. Like, my son the other day was like, oh yeah, I had a stepmother for a couple of months. Like,
oh my God, they coming hard.
I'm sitting here, and what am I gonna say? Like, I can't,
right.
But
let's not forget Ashley's question, Bishop. Do you remember what
Ashley's question? Did I ever feel like I was not husband material?
That's a good one.
Sometimes I did. Like, sometimes I was like, yo, I jacked this up. Like, I really jacked this up. But I felt less. I felt like I was less of a man of God. And me not being the man of God that I'm supposed to be, that went into the not a good husband, not a good father, like you, because you're the man of God. And so being the man of God is supposed to hold you to the standard of being a good husband, being a good father, right? So there were times when I was like, I'm not husband material, or I mean, like there were times when I would beat myself up. And this was before us deciding to, let's put this back together, let's reconcile. There were times when I was like, I'm not a good husband. But then when God got to me, and I was like, no, I want to prove that I am a good husband. I want to prove that I am husband material. And at one point, I was willing to try to prove that with somebody else. Let me just keep it a buck.
Child, that was funny. Yeah. Go ahead. Y'all, let me tell you something. I want him to finish, but to be honest, there was no love lost. I did not dislike anybody. And like I said, he was always my husband. That had never changed. So when I saw him, that's my husband. It's whatever. Hi, Nelly. I saw my mama. Hey, Ma. That's my husband. So what happened? Like, you good? Like, y'all good? Like, I would just say, I am that confident.
You are the realest. You're the realest female.
I am.
Wow.
But Bishop, can I piggyback on? Bishop, can I piggyback on? A lot of times, going back to what Ashley said, a lot of times, even as men, I know God has made us the head, but sometimes even going into having kids, we don't know. There's no book on parenting. There's a lot of things, even as being men, things that we are learning on the job. But the point is, once we realize that there is a commitment, you know what I'm saying? When there's a commitment to each other, then what we do now is we say there's a commitment to help each other get better at whatever the situation is in the marriage. Because a lot of times, a lot of things that I didn't know, and I explained it to my wife. I was, like you said earlier, Bishop, it's about being able to be vulnerable to the one that you're in covenant with. So if I'm able to tell her, listen, I don't know, then as the praying woman she is, she's going to go to God on behalf of what I say that I don't know. So we really have to actually be helpers to one another and be strength for one another. And then that strength will actually push this man into the position of what he does not know. I just wanted to piggyback, so you can.
So at one point I just got to the place where I want to prove that I am a good husband. And that was around the time when God really started getting to me. When he started getting to me and he started saying things to me in my spirit, like, you are never going to be effective in ministry if you don't fix this, if you don't correct this. And how you think you're going to correct this with somebody else?
Yes.
Right? Like, you got to correct this with the person that you said I gave you, that you said I told you was your wife. This is what you said. And so you got to hold up that covenant. And that's when I started saying, I want to be a good husband. I don't want to get an A in the pulpit and an F in marriage.
Come on.
Right? I just didn't want that. Like, and that's when I just started trying to get back to her. I was trying to get back to her. And here we are.
I like I said, I don't tell anybody to move the way I move. I move according to the way that I move. I've always been the same. I've never changed inside church, outside of church. You always gonna get me the way that I am. Never did I feel slighted or felt like, oh my God, he out there, look at her. I want everybody to know, never was I feeling bad. Never was I trouble. I had my own issues.
That's
okay. So I had to take care of what I had to take care of first before I not even decided to come back. Because for me, I was divorced. Like, all right, it's over. I'm good. I'm moving on. I'm dating. I'm outside. This is what it is. I was excited. But when I got outside, I was like, yo, this is whack. These people is corny. I don't like going outside. I like being in my house. I am a relational person. I've been married for 20-something years. I don't know what it's like to be going all around looking for, I ain't looking for nothing. I'm chilling. I'm in my house. So it was me, every time I thought about I was dating somebody at the end of the tunnel, I always saw L. So I'm like, oh, come on, God, this what you saying? Yeah, so I was just like, wow, like, nah, you're not gonna do this to me. Nah, I'm over here, I'm chilling. You know, my ear was always to God. Whoa. But was I praying for my marriage? Absolutely not. I'm telling you right now. Wow. 100% honest with you. Absolutely not. Because I thought this was my way of escape. He left, so I'm good. Please. I'm outside. Right, he left. He good. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do nothing wrong. I stayed. I was still trying to work it out. In the middle of that, he left, so I'm straight. But God was like, oh, for real? So you playing? You gonna play in my face? See? So God had to capture me and be like, so you just gonna continue to keep doing what you're doing outside, forget about him, and not realize the covenant that you made with me. And every time I thought I was in a relationship or chilling with somebody, I always saw L. At the end of the tunnel, it was always him. So I'm like, wow, like, so is this what it's going to be? And I fought it to the end. Like, nah, we getting a divorce. It just didn't work out that way. And not, you know, it was God, because I'm telling you.
So what was it? Like I said, let me go back to my question.
Okay, we coming to the end.
Now we can come to my question. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So what was it? Because now, like I said, being at the point of divorce, what was it that he did to really now get into your spirit to at least give him an opportunity to put that foot back where it need to be?
Come on.
Consistency.
Wow.
Doing the extra. It's the consistency. It was the extra. It was the not giving up. No matter how many times I said no, didn't want to be bothered. And not that I was rude or nasty. Never was I. I just didn't have the time. I'm working. I'm getting my money. I don't got time for this. I don't feel like being in a relationship. It had nothing to do with him per se. I just didn't want to be in a relationship. Wow. I'm relaxing right now. I don't want no accountability. Oh. So for me, it was the consistency, the drive, the change. And some people say, oh, they changed for a minute. And I mean, that's your story. That's how you feel. That's what you want. Like people, oh, you're going to go back. I dare somebody say something to me about going back to my husband. I dare somebody say something to me about, oh, but what happened to all the stuff he did? So what? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Exactly. That's my situation. That's something I decided to go through. You can't call me stupid, dumb, because I hold my own. You know I could do whatever I want when I want. I've always been that person. I never covered up what I do, how I do it. I move and shake. That's what it is. A lot of people can't take my transparency. They can't take what I give out. So don't come to me because I'm giving you all of this. And so now coming back, I said, let me ease into it because a lot of this stuff that I had to deal with, my family trauma, my children trauma, my hurt, his hurt, whatever it is, that's something that we have to deal with. Forget everybody else. We have to isolate everybody else because people want to talk regardless. Good, bad, indifferent. They gonna talk. The people that was with you while you was doing it, the people that saw you, that pushed you to do it, act like they didn't know about it. Everybody gonna talk. I don't like nobody. That's my thing. And I don't say it to be mean or not really, but people are people and they show you who they are and you believe them. I stay away from everybody because when situations like this come about, somebody gonna always throw up, but he did. But look how out there he was. And look, so what? So what? Look what you're doing that nobody don't see. That you got to deal with. What happened? What you gonna do? So what? That's my husband. You mad? Why you mad? You know? So I am.
That's why I never put the first lady. You are the queen. So you are definitely the queen.
But you know what's so ironic that you said that, because a lot of times, really, when God really sets in, there is a change. Mm-hmm. Because now,
it's a change, and you can see it.
Because now the consistency is really is a part of you.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a witness to that because that's something that I had to do, because when I was rolling out in Rolling Stone and I came back to her, she said, wait a minute, there's something different about you.
I didn't say anything to him about it either. I just noticed it was the stuff that he was doing.
Love you too, Felicia.
I don't know how you are, LB, but I know for Jesse, he never was the type of guy to try to fake something just to prove to me anything. If Jesse is gonna be Jesse, Jesse gonna be Jesse. Everybody know Jesse for who he is. When there is a change, it's not only noticeable, but
outside.
it's
That's right. It's ghetto
Right.
out there.
And I'm gonna hold you. It's ghetto out there.
if there's a change, it's very noticeable, and you know that it's a permanent change. That it's not just something he's doing for the moment. So,
Right.
Bishop answer that question.
And it's genuine.
This question is good because I didn't, and I should have.
You didn't what?
Take a break from ministry and preaching.
Oh, okay.
I didn't take a break from ministry and preaching. I really should have though. I wish that I did. Because I probably would have heard from God much sooner. Had I not been using ministry and using preaching as a Band-Aid.
Okay.
Because that's really what was going on. I was preaching and ministering and doing everything. And I was using that as a Band-Aid to try to cover up what was really going on. Like, I didn't tell my church that I had moved out until like maybe a year and a half after I moved out. You know, I'm sure they thought something because once the church opened back up after COVID and she wasn't coming to church. I wasn't
there.
COVID is over now.
The doors
it's
of
a
the
process.
church are open.
Yeah.
It's a process.
People looking around like, okay, and you know, and
that's
you know,
right.
and she's still not there
still
yet.
Not there.
She's
it's
still not there
process.
yet. And the goal is I want her to come back when she wants to come back, when she's comfortable coming back, because that's my wife. That's what matters to me. And I don't want her to be uncomfortable in any situation, and things got to be put in certain places for her to be comfortable. And I'm willing to do that. I didn't take a break from preaching. I didn't take a break from ministry. I should have. And had I done that, my church would probably be much stronger today. But God is in the process of bringing strength back, and is about to be crazy.
It's okay, because I'm waiting for somebody to ask questions.
Well, the thing is, God had, because listening to both of y'all, it was like y'all went through something totally orchestrated by God.
Totally.
The breakup, everything.
Totally.
It was totally orchestrated, and I believe it was orchestrated for where you guys are going, not where you are, but where you are going. So there's a whole nother level that God has taken both of y'all to. And because of that, there was certain, this was totally orchestrated by God. Totally. When I say totally, this whole thing, everything. And it's mind-boggling to me, because this is how God works, man. You know, our ways are not his ways. Our understanding is not his understanding.
Right.
But to understand, Bishop is actually my professor. And I was studying in the scripture today, the minor prophets that he had me studying. And it's so crazy because he was talking about how the night starts before the day. The night starts the day actually starts at 12 o'clock, but it's still nighttime.
At
night. So the thing is, before the sun comes, you're going to be in some darkness.
Come on.
You're going to be in darkness.
Yeah.
So the point is, and even before God created everything, there was darkness.
Right.
So the point is that it was like darkness was orchestrated for the light to come.
Before your morning, there's going to be midnight.
There it is.
That's it.
That's it.
Before your morning, at midnight is the morning.
Come on now.
And it's nighttime.
And it's nighttime.
Before your morning, there will be midnight.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's it's the process, and that's all I can tell you. You just got to keep your ear to God, no matter what. Because as I stated, I can't tell you. I was praying. I was prayed up. I was bent over crying. I was not. I was not praying for my marriage. I was not. So you got to still be in tune with God. You got to keep your ear to God, and you have to know his voice.
Amen.
Once he calls, you can't get away from that, no matter how you do that. You can't get away from it. No matter how I say, oh, I ain't going back or whatever. I don't really think I said it. I didn't talk to many people. I just, at one point, I just said, I'm fed up. I don't think so. I'm good. I don't know. At some place, I was real strong and animate about it, but never was I bitter or said anything angrily, or I'm never going back with him. Nah, that's my husband. And I didn't get married to get divorced. So we're going to make it. I'm telling y'all now, y'all better hold him accountable, because I'm knocking heads off. There's no second cycle. There's no second round. I'm coming in the church. I'm knocking heads off.
That's right.
Him,
Come on,
everybody. And that's just it.
Cherish.
And I'm sorry I got to approach it that way, because I was very quiet in the first go round. Second half, we already got 20-something years in. We going into our next 20-something years. I'm not playing with nobody. So I'm telling you now, hold him accountable. Jesse, y'all better call him, make sure he all right, because I'm knocking heads off, and then that's gonna be it. And I'm not.
But he said in the last podcast is that his connection is not sideways, but is upways.
Yeah.
So that's the best posture for a man to be in when it comes to being a husband or even the head of your household. The best posture to be in is being upways. Mm-hmm. And as long as we are standing up and getting direction straight from God, then everything else is going to fall into place. So his accountability is to God.
Right.
And God is holding him accountable, and he understands that, because first, and one thing we admire about what he was telling us when he was here was that he owned up to what he did.
Yeah.
He owned up and said, I was wrong. I was this. I was a mess. I did this. And that is the first process to healing, is to really, because the thing is, when we do wrong, the first thing we do is point the finger. Oh, well, they ain't doing this for me, and they ain't doing this for me. And I run into a lot of men that do that. Yeah. They point the finger. Well, she did this, and she did this, and well, she ain't doing this for me, and she ain't saying this to me, and she not doing this for me. And it's like, no, but you are the head. You set the tone. Right. You set the tone as the man, as the head of the household. Right. Because if it don't go wrong, guess who God's going to hold accountable?
And I'm going to tell y'all this. I saw a post on here that said something about y'all going to be counseling to nations.
My wife and I have me.
Let me tell y'all
That's
something.
All right, Marcus.
This is amazing to me, because this is not the ordinary bishop and wife. Bishop, this is not it.
That's right.
This is like you said, it's outside of the box type of situation, because I'm sitting here listening to the queen, baby. And when I'm hearing you, I'm hearing raw. I'm hearing what the world would look at and say, oh, she ain't acting like no first lady or whatever. But I love it, because I lived with the first lady, and no disrespect to my mother. Beautiful woman. She was very submissive to her husband all my life. And she was very quiet. She was very docile in a lot of situations. I noticed it was times when she probably wanted to say something and she didn't say stuff. And now when I look at her, I don't see the freedom that I see here. Because everybody has their eyes on the first lady, and they're picking her apart to see why she not looking like this. She looking mad. You can't have a bad day. None of that stuff can happen when you're the wife of a man of God. But I love the fact that you are who God called you to be, and your relationship was not. You was like, okay, I wasn't praying. I wasn't doing none of that. I was trying to figure out what my decision was going to be in this whole thing. And at the same time, God was still working. So that should give people hope that when God put it together, it don't matter what you say. I don't care how stubborn some people may feel like their husband in their marriage is being, or their wife is not being compliant, or all of that stuff. It doesn't matter, because when God arrests the heart, then God is going to do what he called you to do. And I believe it's for the reason of the nations. It's you guys are going to impact lives that the regular first lady who's trying to be super quiet and sweet for everybody to see her, they're not going to be able to impact like you guys are going to impact.
Sister Haddock going there.
Well, I was quiet. I love my overseer Haddock. I love you, Ma. I'm not going to tell you that I don't think, did I ever come out of pocket? I never came out of pocket in church. Even though, like I said, I wasn't the internally quiet, I did hold a lot of it in. I will say this time around, I will be more vocal on everything. I always was vocal with him. expressing anything that I saw before it happened, before it started. I already know who was going to do what, how it shifted, who was going to shift, who was going to do what. That was going to
be one of my questions. Come on, Holy Ghost.
That was going to be one of my questions, but I forgot.
That was always, God has always given me that discernment, and I thank God for that. For anything that went on. I always saw it, and I told him, he's like, why you always? And I'd be like, yep, whatever. I'd be like, okay.
Thank you, Pastor Sloan. Thank you so much.
And I left it, a lot of it I just kept to myself. I said it to him, never showed down in church. I always was there. There were times we wasn't even speaking. We wasn't even in the same house. And I showed up because I love God. I love God. I love my relationship with God. I love God. So nothing was going to keep me from God, no matter what me and him was going through. Though, it was sometimes like a stretch, like, come on, man, I don't even want to go. We're not even talking. I pressed my way. And in that, I know God saw it and honored it no matter what we were going through, because I can't tell you I wasn't hurt or I wasn't breaking down, of course, because you would want your husband to be, you would want to walk outside with your head up, knowing that everything. Although, like I said, I'm very, very confident in who I am. Never did I feel like I slighted myself at all for anything that he done or I done. We both done. I just was at a place where now, after it all was said and done, I was like, all right, maybe it's good for us to be apart. I said, maybe that's just what it is. Instead of me holding it in, or we going in circles, not telling the truth, you ain't going to tell your part, I ain't going to tell my part. All right, how about we just need this break? How about God is giving us that open floor for us to take this break, to do what we got to do, to figure this thing out. And if it's meant, I promise you he going to put it back together. And I just left it like that. I just left. I never had conversations. I didn't go to my mom talking. I didn't never say nothing to nobody. My mother didn't even know that we wasn't together, was separated, living in nobody. I just didn't say nothing. My children are the only people that knew. That was it. Mm-hmm. And when everybody found out, it was like, oh, wow. Or, I don't even know how they found out. Didn't care. Yeah. Don't care. And nobody, so it was like, oh, they not together or whatever. Or when they see me, you don't know what to say. You don't know how to approach me because you think I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. Stop being dumb. Y'all being dumb. And I don't like stuff like that. Don't be dumb. So don't think I don't know. And you act like you ain't just seen him with his girlfriend or he with a girl. Come on. Stop.
Right.
Like, come on. So, I thank God. I thank God for where we are now. And I know we got to wrap up. So I thank God for where we are now. Again, it's still a process. We are still dating. We are still in a process. We are enjoying. We are relearning. We are reliving. We don't care what you say, how you feel about our situation. And when you see him, if you don't want to speak to him, if you don't like him because of what he went through and how he went through it, that's your business. You talk to God about it. Get over it.
Come on now. This is...
And yes, it is what it is.
Right.
If I am okay with my husband and my children are good, which they are all grown, and you won't approach them and say nothing crazy. So we good over here on these parts. Right here.
Don't leave Kayla alone.
We good. So
listen, I'm and you ain't outside no more.
I'm not outside.
As she said, it sucks to be outside.
It's ghetto out there.
It's ghetto out there.
It's ghetto out there. I like being in my house. I like chilling with my family.
Mic drop.
That's what I like.
That's right.
Come
on, Felicia.
Right. So that's really where we are. We're dating. We still relearning. We're doing things differently. We're not caring about nobody. We're talking more things that we like, more things that we didn't do and we should have done. But okay, we okay with it. It was a process. We forgot about everything. Don't come asking questions or what happened. And we feel like telling you we will, but we ain't. So what happened? So if you didn't watch this and you don't know the story, go on YouTube, go look at it, go tell your friends, log on, go spread the word like you tell everything else. Tell them what happened. So when you see us, don't look dumb in the face like, oh my God, they back together. You already knew that. Stop playing.
Who is that? Shy.
That's my daughter-in-law, Hot Shy. That's my daughter-in-law.
She said
hey,
that part.
That's right. You got to meet your uncle. You ain't meet me yet, but I'll meet you when you come in.
But y'all listen.
Listen, y'all. Listen, I just want to say this one thing before my wife get the flow.
Oh, I'm not. But you did interrupt me again, like how you be doing.
I'm sorry. It's okay. But no, real talk. Listen, y'all. I want to thank y'all.
Yeah.
For first of all your transparency. We thank God for you guys. I really believe that your story is It's going to bless millions.
Yes.
It's going to bless millions.
It is.
And
blessed
the
me.
marriage ministry that you guys are going to start in your church. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go back and you're going to do marriage ministry inside of your church. And because it's needed.
Yeah.
It's needed. This is an element that is not really being touched in the church because we've got so caught up into preaching and preaching and preaching. But let me tell you something. Preaching is not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
It is not enough. I promise you, y'all, this is a platform that God has allowed us to really entangle on, because the place that we came from and where we had to heal, and understanding that in relationship, that's what takes to go into to make relationships flow the way they're supposed to. Because if you talk whatever, I don't care what it is.
Everything.
This is the person that you are supposed to be able to be vulnerable in front of.
Supposed to, if
You're
nobody else.
supposed to. And out of nobody, you're not supposed, because this is what God has joined together.
Be vulnerable.
You know what I'm saying? Be vulnerable.
Yes,
be
let me know.
Let me
so
know,
I can pray and cover.
Now when things come up, if somebody come and tell my wife something about me, she was like, no, that ain't even my husband, because
that's because I
we
know
done already
you now.
talked about
Right.
She knows me.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is how we get to know each other, from giving our deepest secrets from one another. When we first got back together, I was asking, what happened? I wanted to know details. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talked about everything.
Yeah.
We talked about everything. I was asking.
Tell me.
It helps me to understand better.
But it helps me understand.
But let me
your
say this.
mindset. I'm sorry.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Listen. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all blessed my heart tonight. Y'all showed us that you could be who you are. Baby, you could be a strong black woman with a strong black man and make it. We don't have to be, as women, the silent, I can't say nothing partner. We have to make sure that you're good in public, yes, but in private, I should be able to still be the strength that I am, because as long as I'm a strong neck, then your head will have something that it can rest on with ease. So I am so glad, no matter what anybody says about anything, baby, I am so honored to know you, Queen. I'm so happy about what God has done here, because I saw God's hand moving in it all, and you have helped to somebody that you did not have to bow down and be less of who you are to be a woman of God, and I thank you for that. You have really blessed me. Bless if this podcast, if this queen has blessed you, please put some fire in the chat, because let me put my fire.
Listen,
I'm finna go on
and listen. We have 2 ministries online here, so if you want to be a blessing to Shift Real Talk, the Cash App is Shift Real Talk, and then you have the Glory Tabernacle, the Glory Cathedral.
Send it. Y'all send it to Shift.
Shift Talk.
Send it to Shift
Real Talk. But listen, y'all.
My offering and my blessing is getting my wife back. I'm good.
Yeah.
You're already blessed. You're already blessed. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Listen, y'all. Listen. We thank y'all. We love you guys. We will pass our time. Telly, thank you. Thank you for taking. She took off work today to be. Thank you so much.
I'm talking about she. I don't think you were supposed to tell that.
No, but that's how I think. Telly is real. She's real.
Look up like just in case her job watching.
I know my sister. That's my sister. She keep it 100.
Right.
I love y'all, man.
We love you. Listen, until next Tuesday, we are going to have another Fireball show. Do not forget to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Please subscribe to
Shift Real Talk.
Please.
And with that note, there is hope in relationships as long as you do it with Jesus.
You can love again.
Love again. Later, y'all.
Thanks for watching.